Shalom, family. How are we today? It's late in the evening. Wasn't feeling that great. My shoulder was like tearing me up. I could barely move my arm today. Well, I know you guys have had plenty of time to spend time with the Most High, pray, read scripture. Pastor Kofi's got thousands of videos y'all could check out and just get truth in you. It's important, I promise you. So, I made a video and I said, that if I chose to get a dog, there'd be things that I'd be doing to make sure that this dog is covered, taken care of. I like dogs, I really do. And then you wonder why dogs have a bad rap because of their owners. It's not because of the dogs. I wish I could show y'all what the balcony looked like. I'm not even gonna say poop. It's shit all over the balcony. Then I had my grandson go out there and pick up, I guess, a couple of poop piles, shit piles, put it in a plastic bag, and put it at the front door. So now there's like 5 bags of poop at the front door. And then she had the audacity to get mad because I had something to say. Girl, you out your rabbit ass mind? This is disgusting. Who lives like that? You know what she said? Well, we're nasty and you live here with us. So what does that say about you? Bitch. Y'all said for me to be the light. I'm going to be something, but it might not be a light. That's why you got jail time coming up. Possibly. Because you think you're smart and want to run everything, but you can't run your own life. And you think I'm here for you so that you can talk to me crazy? Ma'am, it's not about you. This dog is pissing, shitting all over this damn house. Now, I had a schedule so that he can train and learn how to go and where to go and what to do. That ain't what she want. Then she want to whoop the hell out of him because he keeps peeing and shitting in the house. Pastor Kofi, if you're seeing this, I apologize. This is a raw one and I'm pissed and I'm sorry. Just all over the damn house. Have y'all noticed? I have no fingernails. I've been biting my nails so badly. I haven't been biting my nails in so long. Like it's been at least 40 years where I was biting my nails off because my nerves are bad. And I just realized it the other day. I went to look and I was like, wow, I am biting my nails again. It wants me to be the light, but my nerves are bad living here. I'm the only one that cleans up in this house. And then she's gonna say, "Well, you're not gonna clean it up. Ugh, why would I? I'm not cleaning up behind this dog. No, not my dog. Absolutely not." They had a different dog. Name was Gucci. That poor dog was crazy. literally. And she laughed about how they made them crazy. So now I guess poor little Blue. I don't know why the Most High lets her have any animals. I don't. I pray that she never get another one. But if you're gonna be nasty like this, I'm ready for her court dates because I'm losing it up in here. Like I really am. This is insane. We're gonna let that go. I wanted to take my hand and, girl, who you talking to? Who? I mean, it's annoying hearing you say it. It's annoying looking at shit all over the balcony. How about that? I apologize, you guys. I apologize. So the other day, I was on YouTube and I was listening to a story. It was a documentary, I guess, about Stacy Lattisaw. I don't know if anybody remembers her. I used to love her. Um, Knew all of her songs. She's reason why Johnny Gill came out because she brought him out. They grew up together, and they had some really nice songs together. Y'all should check them out. Stacy Lattisaw and Johnny Gill had some really nice songs back in the day. But Stacy Lattisaw, she was really up at the top, and then all of a sudden, she was just gone. And so the story pretty much was looking about looking at her life and trying to figure out what happened to her. And she was talking about how the industry is and how they wanted her. She always dressed really nice, fully clothed. But she said they started telling her that they wanted her songs to be different because her songs was like a popcorn, bubblegum kind of music. But she was 12 when she came out, so it should have been. She's 12. And then she said they started telling her stuff like, we need your clothes, to, your outfits to change. They wanted her to dress more provocatively. She's 12, she's 13, 14. Why? Why would y'all want her to do that? Um, uh, so, pretty much, because that is not who she was, even as a child, she refused to allow them to mold her to be something that she wasn't. And so she chose to leave the industry while she was at the top. And it was funny that um, they were talking about her and about what happened to her and where she went. And she was like, the lady that was doing the interview was like, well, not the interview. They do the voiceover and they was talking, and it was like, yeah, she was being homeschooled, and they made it seem like being homeschooled was the worst thing you could ever be. Like she was homeschooled. You could just imagine how lonely that was, not having any friends and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why do they put such a bad stigma on homeschool? Why is that? I think that's really weird. Now, back in the day, I knew a few people that were homeschooled. Um, I never would have wanted to be homeschooled as a child. My father being my homeschool, oh, the homeschool teacher, absolutely not. That means I had to spend more time with him. So, that was never something I would have wanted to do. But I think it's interesting how people put a stigma on homeschooling as if you're going to turn out so bad because you were taught at home. When back in the day, we were taught at home. People were taught at home. We went to school some of the times, but for the most part, people worked on the farm. They helped out at home, and they learned a lot. I mean, you can learn a lot. Um, and anyway, the way it's supposed to be, you're supposed to be an apprentice to your parents. As whatever your dad did, that's what you're supposed to do. Whatever mom do, that's what you're supposed to do. Um, but it's interesting how people put such a bad stigma on, oh my gosh, they homeschool. Um, to the point where my grandson, and he tells me all the time, I like being homeschooled and I would never want to go to regular school. But if someone asks him, it's like he feels bad about saying he's homeschooled, and I asked him why. And he says, people pick at me, they say I'm dumb because you're homeschooled. But then his mom don't really take it that seriously either. Like if he was to go somewhere on the weekend and he not back on Monday, it's like it's no big deal. But if he was in regular school, you'd make sure he was here so he can go to regular school. I think that is so wild. I think it is so wild. We learn so many lies in school, in regular school. We learn a lot of lies. I was a teacher, so I know for fact this is true. We were taught a lot of lies in regular school. When my grandson is having a hard time learning something, unlike in regular school, you have a certain time frame where you got to learn this. Now we're going to test you. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, oh well, now you're slow or you need special ed or something like that. Versus when you're at home school, okay, we're going to work on it until you figure it out. And as a teacher, it's my job to figure out what else can I do to make it make sense. Um, I will say that when he and I learn something new, he gets very frustrated because of the stigma that he had on himself that they put on him. He just felt like he was dumb and that he couldn't learn. Um, and when she used to so-called try to help him with his homework, and I put it in quotes because he rarely did homework, but when she was supposed to be helping him with his homework, she gets frustrated, yelling and screaming, and he felt dumb. Those are the words he told me, not the words I'm making up. But he gets A's and B's with me. And I'm quite sure people think that, oh, that's his grandmother. She just probably gives him a break. Trust me, I don't give him a break because what good is that? He's not learning if I give him a break. I know what he can do though, and I push him. And then when he gets it, he's just, I got this. This is easy, Granny. I got this. I know you got this. I really, really, really wish that they would stop putting such a bad stigma of homeschool as if what you learn at home is not as valuable. I think it's more valuable actually than what you learn in school because they teach you lies in school, like for real, for real. They teach you a lot of lies in school. Now, there are some things that are true, but there are some things that are not. And they know that it's a lie, but they still teach it anyway. But here in homeschool, we get to break it down and we get to see what it really is. I don't know. Maybe it's me because I homeschool. I have homeschool curriculum and I'm biased. I definitely am. But I'm biased more because I feel like children can learn better. You put your children in front of people that sometimes are just there for the money. They don't care about your child and they don't care if your child learns or not. I had my best friend, I miss her so much. Vicky was honor roll student, straight A student. She was in the who's who. Look it up. Who's who. Not everybody gets to be in the who's who. Vicky was just so smart. And I mean, yes, that was back in the day, but they still do that today. She told her teacher that she wanted to be a lawyer. And her teacher said, you'd be better off being a maid or a cook, taking care of families. How dare you? You're my teacher. You're supposed to want the best for me, like you would think. No. There are teachers that are prejudiced, and they're teaching your children, and they teach them just like they teach them. I don't know. I don't know. I think we're just so worldly that we just it's anything that's not what everybody else is doing, it seems like it's a bad thing. But we're peculiar people. That's what the Bible says. We're peculiar people, so we're supposed to do things differently. We're not supposed to be following the norm. We follow what Yah says. I have another book, y'all. I know y'all probably seen this one too. Positive Mind, Positive Life. Someone gave me this book. One of my parents gave me this book actually. And I had started out writing like my life story. I'm still here. It was my book that I was gonna write. I didn't date it. I don't know when I started writing in this book. Um, but it was, like I said, I wanted to write books about my life because I've been through so much of my life, and I'm just, you know, felt like it was something I should write about. And so I had started using this book for that because I had years ago started writing, um, many, many years ago. But, with me losing, my things, that was lost. So I called myself gonna start writing it again. And so again, I started writing. Um, but like I said, trying to write my life story was hard. It was very difficult. And I would start and I would always stop. So this time, the books are out there, and it's just awesome that I actually was able to get some books out there. There are more books coming. There are definitely more books coming. Oh, that's where I put it. Hold on, I was looking for something. I apologize, you guys. Hold on. I thought it was in this book. Um, Maybe it's in this book. I don't know. I have stuff all over the place. Yep, there it is. Raising children. 0 to 3, they learn about being a boy or a girl. This is Bible, okay? 4 to 6, you wean them off of mom. 7 to 9, apprenticeship. They learn to do what you do. 10 to 12, you give them extreme education. Now, I don't really know what extreme education is. I should ask Pastor Kofi because I've never asked. 13 to 15, you train them to become adults. 16 to 18, you train them to become a husband or a wife. 19 to 21, still training. See, that's why it knocks me off my feet when you say, you're 18 and now I'm grown. Where? How many of you were 18 and was grown? I know I wasn't. 19 to 21, you train them to become a mother or a father. And then this is something that knocked me off my feet too, which makes sense though. But at 22, the sons get their inheritance because now, they have the proper training. So now they're out here, they're in their work, of course, they're in their work, but now husband and wife, that he's going to find him a wife. Wife is still at home because she's still a, yeah, we're not grown. People keep saying that, but we're not. The daughter is at home safely with oil in her lamp, waiting on her husband. You know, yeah. Um, so homeschool is great. You get to teach them the things that's important. How many things have you learned in school that you've never used a day in your life? There's a lot of things I supposedly learned that, first of all, a lot of the things I learned was not true. That's the one thing that messed me up. And then for two, a lot of the things I supposedly learned in school, I've never used. Why do we need to learn things that's not useful? Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't learn new things because we should learn something new every day. However, I feel like you should learn those extra things later on. Like, okay, we can learn that there, do that. But it's some things that I learned growing up that I've never had no use for at all. Homeschool, first of all, they learn the truth. You love them. You know them. You know what they can do. You know how to talk to them. You know how to, get them to get their work done. How many times I used to get calls when I lived in St. Louis because she's like, he's not doing his homework. What do you mean? He's not doing his homework. Did you check? Like, I checked my children's backpack all the time. Did you? She didn't. How does he fail and you don't know that he's failing before he failed? Because you're not, you're not involved like you should be. But that was the best. That was the one thing that I learned at being a teacher. I need to know my students. You got 20 students in your room. You need to know who they are. You need to figure them out. What makes them tick? How do they learn? Everybody's different. You got to figure them out. Know what they can do. How do you push them when they're frustrated? You know, but you as their parent, you know them. You know what they can and can't do. So you have an advantage. And then on top of that, they can learn the truth. And to me, that's the most important part, teaching them the truth. But see, most people believe in God. Some people don't realize that God is not who you should be worshiping. Um, most people say that they're Christians, but I'm not a Christian. I'm a follower of the way. We're not Christians. Christians, they use their little iron and clay. They mix it. They mix stuff together. You can see it in churches all the time. Trips me out when I hear secular music. Now it's a gospel song and we swag surfing in the church. Why are we doing that? The women's dresses are, you can see their heartbeat, breasts all out, boobs all, but your butt all out. Why? We're in church. Why are we dressed like this in church? How many ministers out here got three and four women in the church that they messing with? Then you got those ministers that are using the money that you use to tithe with, funding their life. They got planes and beautiful cars and mansions and all the things. I don't think the Most High would approve of that. That's just what I would. I mean, I just don't think that's what he would approve of. But most people don't see it that way. They believe I'm a Christian. And I think people say that because other people say it. What is a Christian? What is a Christian to you? And every time I've seen it, just be some stuff going on. I have a video of how in another life, an activity that I was working in and how I had a bishop. Yes, I used to do activities, selling activities. I'm saying activities, but you know what I mean. And yeah, no, I did. I used to think it was interesting that he loved to see me on Sunday nights. I didn't care. I'm getting paid. But then when he asked me to go somewhere with him before we went to take care of our transaction, how he says, because I'm in his van, I'm in the back, chilling, laying back, talking to him, and really in the back because I didn't want nobody to see me in the van with him. He's not my man or anything, he's just a client. And so, um, he just started talking to me, and he's like, I know you probably wonder why I always see you on Sundays. And he's never asked me like what I did for a living. And I've never like told you either. Now as he's talking, he leans over in the glove compartment and I see these beads he pulls out. He put them on his lap and then um pulls out this little white thing. And I'm like, is that a collar? He's gonna put what? Now, he said he was going to a funeral real quick. Someone passed away that he knew, and he just wanted to show his face. So in front of we're across the street, but we're in front of the church. Now he's study just talking. Now, after I see the beads and the collar come out of the glove compartment, I don't hear nothing else he's saying now. I'm just looking at him. I'm in the back, and he's looking at me through the rearview mirror as he put on his rosary beads and his collar. And I'm like, what? So I'm terrified now because it's like, okay, I want to get out of this. I want out of here. I'm ready to go. And the way he was looking at me in this mirror, it was like he was turned on. Um, the facial expression as I watch him put these rosary beads on and put his collar on and put his jacket on. He stands outside the car or the van. I'm in the back. He's right at the door and he's fixing himself up. But he knows I'm looking right at him from the inside of the van. And he's just fixing it. And he's got this look on his face like, I'm like, what? And I just started crying because I'm like, ooh, what have I got myself into? Oh man, all this time, this man is a priest, a bishop, or whatever, and he's my client. And he specifically said, I pick you up on Sundays because that's when I have the most money. So you are getting your money out of the collection plate for me. Oh my greatness. So yeah, these bishops and priests and ministers and pastors. I had one growing up, my best friend, when I was a little girl. Her dad was a preacher. He was something. or they worship him at church, but he at home whooping up on his wife. He kicking her butt. Then he started getting the little girls in the church pregnant, and he always. I never liked being around this man alone because it was how he looked at me. I always felt weird. Yeah. So yeah, I always had an issue with ministers, preachers, the people from these churches. Yeah, I've had issues. I've So now it makes sense. Yeah, y'all Christians. Okay, that makes sense because that is not of the Most High. So yeah, I'm not a Christian. I used to call myself a Baptist because that's what I grew up as, growing up, a Baptist. I'm not a Baptist. I'm not a Protestant. I am not a Christian for sure. I am a follower of the way, which means we follow what the Bible says. Like right now, no leaven. It represents sin. We're getting ourselves prepared for Passover. Boy, it's hard to not have stuff, find food without leaven in it. Good night. Anywho, yeah. So, this video is a little bit of everything. I apologize. I'm just all over the place. And I might as well just go on and talk about that other subject that I had. Hold on. I got to find out where I wrote it. Hold on. I'm going to need a new book because I have just been writing and writing and writing. Oh, so today I was watching Ringo TV. I've never seen Ringo TV before. And the man was on there and he was talking about these two channels. One was called In Her SUV and the other one was called Dodash. So that's what made me stop to listen because Dodash, if y'all see, like, I think my very first video, I shouted her out in my first video. Because I had been watching her and it was like I got that encouragement. I'm gonna just go ahead and start the video. The Most High has been trying to push me to do it. I'm just gonna do it. What the heck? So yeah, I shouted her out. Now I haven't like seen any of her content in a while, a long, long while actually. But apparently, her and that lady in her SUV are lying to people about being homeless or living in their vehicles for money. And I'm like, you know what? There are a lot of them that are saying that they're homeless, they're living in their car. Um, and you don't know these people. They could tell you anything. Um, but listening to his video today, and then, like I said, I haven't looked at Dodash in a long time. And in her SUV, I've never seen her. Um, I was just looking at it and I was just like, it's a sad thing. There are people out here that'll do stuff for you. And I've noticed a lot of people will do a lot for people on the online. They'll send them gifts, they'll do all the things. I've noticed that. I'm not asking for any of those things. If someone wants to bless you with something, I think it's amazing. It's awesome. Um, but I don't, my channel is not asking for anything. I might tell you I'm going through this, that, and the other, but I still don't ask for anything. My pastor will say, I'm going to see what we can put together and we can send you something. The Most High got me. We can hold out and we gonna wait. Um, the Most High, I follow His will, so He got me. Um, yeah, I'm not. Of course, I want to be blessed for my work. Absolutely, who doesn't? But I'm not doing this just for the money. I said this before. I could leave this earth tomorrow. My work is done though. My work is out there. I've done what I was supposed to do. And maybe I'm not supposed to see a blessing from it. Like, who knows? Maybe I'm not supposed to. I don't know. But Yah says do the work. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And again, I'll say it again. Oh, of course I want to get paid for the books and shoot, even YouTube if I could. That'll be awesome. But if I don't, it's not going to stop me from making the videos. It's not going to stop me from writing the books because I have two books um, that I'm mentally putting together right now. Um, and I've written down some things, what we're going that I think the Most High wants me to put in there. I don't go ahead, I might write little notes and things like that, but I pray on it and I wait for my answers. But if these ladies are doing all of that, lying about being homeless, living in their vehicles, trying to get people to be, show sympathy, and send them, y'all know that whatever is done in the dark will come to light. Like, it will come. Like, you can't just be out here trying to scam people and not think that you won't get exposed. Because you will. And again, I don't know if this is true or not, but I definitely can understand how um, the way that the video was put together. And it wasn't really a way he put it together. He just let us look at their content. He just showed us the content. And Dodash was really, her content is completely different from when I first started watching her. So was that in 2023, maybe, when I started this channel? I can't remember when I started this channel, but it's been a while. Um, because I was still in St. Louis at the time. So, yeah, like I said, I haven't seen Dodash's content in a while. Um, but looking at the video that he showed today, I was just like, sus. Sus. She's suspect. That's definitely sus. But, it is what it is. If that's your way of making content to become financially whatever, to get money out of people, so be it. If it works for you, perfect. However, if this is what you're doing, it will come to light. So it is what it is. I don't know. This video was all over the place, you guys. I apologize. I'm sorry. Sometimes I just be running my mouth and just whatever's going on, I just like to talk about it. But I appreciate anyone that listens. Any comments made, I try to always come back and respond because I want people to know I do look. I do want y'all to know I appreciate the views. I appreciate the subscribers. I'm like 78 subscribers. That's so cool. I think that is really cool. Now, I think it's wild to see people with thousands upon thousands of subscribers and they're just talking about crazy stuff, but it is what it is. The channel is not, it's not about the subscribers. It's about reaching the ones that the Most High wants me to reach. So that's what it is. So I'm gonna go and I'm probably gonna make another video tonight for sure. So I shall probably chat with you guys tomorrow. Have an amazing rest of your day. Shalom.